how Denver's been treating the vets and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So Denver questions, Denver questions, Denver questions.
Cool. Well, don't say anything bad about Denver now. 3, 2, and welcome back to the Slalom event, sponsored here by UPS. And Mike, this is a 30th annual National Veterans Wheelchair Games, but it's the first year that Denver's hosting it. What's been so special about Denver, you know, being the city that gets to host this such a great game?
It's great, you know, these games are fun. We love meeting each other and getting out and competing, but it is beautiful to get to travel, and it's in a different city every year. And Denver's been, you know, real nice. Other than in the swimming pool, sucking air, gasping for oxygen through the mile-high thin air. I mean, the hotel's okay, right downtown. Right up the road is the 16th Street Mall. It's all very accessible. You know, you get a free train, run you around. And there's plenty to do here. And restaurants right within close distance. Pretty much everything is a push around the hotel and convention center. And there is a free shuttle and the trains and stuff, so it's been very good and accessible with a lot of things to do.
And one thing that when I've been talking to athletes is when they're coming from, you know, sea level, they're coming up to, you know, over a mile high here in Denver, and they say it's a noticeable difference. Have you noticed any difference from the lack of oxygen that, you know, that you intake while doing your events?
Well, I do a lot of skiing, and I've been up to Aspen, and, you know, I went to the Air Force Academy, so I've lived here at times. I live at sea level and come up here, and during the week, you didn't really notice it that much, pushing around all over town and stuff. But when I got in the pool and did my swim, I was sucking in, begging for more. So yeah, it is quite noticeable when you start competing, you know. You tend to get gassed a little sooner than you usually would. Oh, now he's kind of in a predicament, but okay, he saved himself without them touching him.
And our competitor right now is Terry Rock. Terry Rock getting through. Yesterday when I was doing an interview, this family was from New Jersey, and they said that, you know, Denver's such a great place to host this event, but one thing that they said was unique about Denver is that all the hotels they've been to, all the buses has been wheelchair accessible. Everything has, you know, benefited the wheelchair athletes. Talk about that a little bit. What has your been experiences with Denver and how they've treated the wheelchair community?
Well, one of the things that amazed me is this is one of the first times that, well, I think there's only 2 games I've been to where all the athletes have been in the same hotel. Usually we're spread out through the city, so you don't get to see and spend as much time interacting with each other unless you're pushing through the city to go to other hotels. But I even noticed the railroad track. You don't even have to pay attention. I mean, that's one of the reasons they got rumble strips and stuff. So when you get the railroad tracks, you got to do the wheelie and walk through so you don't catch your casket.
Right.
And even the railroad tracks around here are so protected that you can just like not pay attention, push it and roll over them, and you go right over them without even having to do the wheelie. I mean, there is some concrete streets that get a little, you know, concrete gets beat up in America, you know, but as long as you're paying attention, I mean, the buses, the train, everything is very easy on and off. The hotel's been good and all the facilities, but I thought with all the athletes would be an elevator craziness, you know, trying to get up and down, but they've got banks and banks of elevators, so we've been up and down, no problem, without big lines. But the weather's cooperating too, you know?
Yeah, all from yesterday, it's been pretty nice. It rained a little bit yesterday, but, you know, Denver, it always has pretty good weather. It's always consistent and not too hot, you know, not too cold, but just right for summer months. And it's, you know, pretty good weather to host these wheelchair games. And one thing you were mentioning earlier about, you know, a unique thing about Denver, all you athletes pretty much are staying in the same hotel, which is good because, you know, some athletes may not get to see each other, you know, all but only once a year when the games come, but now you guys get to spend almost a whole week together.
I tell you, outside the lobby of the hotel has been like a regular convention center in itself, you know. That's Grand Central Station. You hang around near the door and you catch them coming and going, so you run into everybody at some point during the week.
Yeah, and you get to catch up with old friends, you get to meet new friends that are your competitors.
It's amazing the amount of novices this year. Even in this event, you know, we got 3 or 4 novices this year. That's pretty impressive. To be like the best of the best in your class in your chair as a novice athlete. It just goes to show you that rehab is doing a good job getting these guys to compete.
Yeah, with over almost 600 athletes competing this year, there's about a quarter of them that are the first timers, which is a special thing for the wheelchair community because they're bringing in more athletes. They're making the games bigger than they were big before. Now they're making them even bigger.
And that's why we do it. It's just to make sure people are aware of what's out there, to get them out so they realize their life's been traumatized and changed. But man, it can go on, your quality of life can still be great. And we thrive on seeing new guys. That's one of our goals. It's take them under your wing and show them what can get done. But when you get a novice that's brand new, you think you're going to show them something and he screws you on the cloth. It's a little embarrassing for us old experienced guys.
And one great thing about being a novice this year is that you do get to spend it in Denver. Denver, so far, has been a pretty good host for the games. Talk about the fans a little bit. What has been your reaction to all the fans and all the spectators coming out here?
Oh yeah, the people on the street see and hey, what's all the wheelchairs about? The games. It's like, oh, you can come see them at convention center. No, it's free. Oh, I'm gonna come on down. And every time you look, there's people around. And I've run into a few people on the street, and then I've seen them in here. I mean, I was coming back from breakfast the other day, and the girl stopped me on the street. And, hey, how's your games going? And what are you competing in? And I want to go see something. So I told her, come up to see the Super G tomorrow. I mean, you want to see an impressive event, that's one you want to look at.
Impressive as it is, as you can see, as Terry Rock is making his way through the Super G here, sponsored by UPS. Yeah, and as you were mentioning, Mike, a lot of fans coming in. It is early in the morning. You wouldn't think a lot of fans are here, but the Super G is one of the most attractive events here at the games because it's a wide array of athletes, showing a different set of skills. And when you look at the athlete trying to get through this, all you see is determination and pure heart to get through this.
And this is one of the few events where a Class 2 could compete with a Class 5 and possibly beat them.
Terry Rock making his way up the incline puzzle now.
That pitch is tough enough, and then putting a rumble strip on it, God. I heard from just watching. And of course they put it at the end of the course after your arms are already rubber.
Yeah, you're at the final stretch of your obstacle course here at Super G. So, Mike, do you think maybe somewhere down the future Denver would be a good spot to re-host the games?
Yeah. Well, we've had a few cities that have hosted more than once, and they've done a good job logistically pulling it off. Once you've done it once and realize, hey, it is doable, because when you think about 600 athletes, 17 events, the venues that all got to, that's a lot of work. It's kind of intimidating to think about taking it on. So kudos to the people in Denver and the VA for stepping up to the plate, taking it on, and once they've done it once, hopefully they will do it again, because there's so much to do around here. There's a great river walk, and it's some beautiful scenery. You get to go out in the range, and do some hand cycling or some of the bike trails that go out into the passes. I've been talking to a bunch of athletes with time off that have done a bunch of great things, just getting out in the mountains and getting out of Denver and checking out some of the other great things around here.
Good work.